Hello my motor enthusiasts. The 2024 Spanish Grand Prix has stirred the Formula One world again with some fascinating shifts in the power rankings. Max Verstappen clinched another victory with a stellar performance, narrowly outpacing Lando Norris, who grabbed his second career pole but finished third. The weekend saw Lewis Hamilton hitting his stride, securing a podium finish that hints at a resurgence for Mercedes. Meanwhile, the Alpine team's smiles broadened with Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon both scoring points consecutively, signaling a potential turnaround. George Russell's lightning start couldn't prevent him from being overtaken, yet it's clear he's one to watch. Over at Ferrari, Charles Leclerc led his team through a tough race, outperforming Carlos Sainz, who tangled with his teammate. Each driver's endeavour over the weekend reshaped the leaderboard, setting an electrifying tone for the season. Keep your seatbelts fastened, this championship race is far from over. Hey there, folks. I'm Enzo, your guide to all things fast and furious in the world of Formula One. Joining us is the master of race commentary, William. We're bringing you the latest and greatest directly on F1 Motor Fever podcast, available daily. If you're loving our content, do subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop us a comment, and why not share the excitement with your mates and family? It really helps us keep the engines running here.
Absolutely, Enzo Watts. It's always thrilling to dive into the race details and see how each weekend reshapes the leaderboard.
Speaking of reshaping, William, the recent Spanish Grand Prix threw a few curveballs our way. I mean, you won't believe the performance twists we saw. Stick around because you really don't want to miss this breakdown. It's not just about the speed, it's about strategy and precision, crucial for any F1 aficionado.
Couldn't agree more, Enzo. The track was alive with action, wasn't it? Looking forward to unpacking the details with you.
That's the spirit. We're about to go full throttle into the nitty-gritty of why these developments are so pivotal. Full throttle, everyone. Now, let's delve into the power rankings after that electrifying Spanish Grand Prix. It was truly a spectacle, wasn't it? Max Verstappen and Lando Norris were at it hammer and tongs, with Verstappen just edging out after a fierce start. Falling behind George Russell initially, Verstappen showed his mettle by overtaking within just a few laps, securing yet another win this season.
Absolutely, and what about Norris? His qualifying lap was described as perfect by himself, snagging his second career pole. Although he dropped to third at the start, his gritty performance throughout the race kept everyone on their toes. There's surely lots to look forward to in Austria and Silverstone, given his strong record there.
Indeed, and switching gears to Lewis Hamilton, it was his best weekend of 2024, wasn't it? From snagging third place in qualifying to racing it to the podium, it's clear he's finding his rhythm again, especially with Mercedes continually tweaking the W15. I've got a mate who'd be chuffed to hear about this, especially since it's been a while since Hamilton's last podium, since the Mexico Grand Prix last year.
And not to forget Pierre Gasly, who seemed to be right in the pocket. It's turning out to be a promising season for him with back-to-back points finishes. The dynamics within the team and his escalating performance are definitely ones to watch.
Absolutely, each race seems to not just shuffle the deck but also promises thrilling prospects for the races to come. The competition is fierce and each point on that leaderboard is hard-earned. Who do you reckon could spring a surprise in the coming races?
With the level of competition we're seeing, any of the top drivers could take the spotlight. But my eyes are on Norris. If he keeps up his form, we might see some interesting upsets against the season champs.
Spot on. It's all about keeping up the pace and seizing those opportunities. Let's buckle up and see where this thrilling season takes us next. Full throttle. Moving on to Alpine, they've had a bit of a turnaround, haven't they? With Gasly handed the lighter tub, he made it shine, breaking into Q3 and outqualifying the Red Bull of Sergio Perez. That's some stellar driving right there.
Indeed, and then there was George Russell, drawing inspiration from Fernando Alonso's legendary start in 2011. Starting from P4 and then sweeping around both Norris and Verstappen to take the lead. Although he had to eventually concede to Hamilton, that initial move was something out of a racing textbook.
Speaking of textbooks, reckon they need to update them with a chapter on how to start a race like Russell. He might just become required reading for the upcoming drivers.
Ha, absolutely, that would be one thrilling chapter. And talking of thrilling, Alpine's duo didn't have it easy, did they? Ocon, in the heavier tub, still followed Gasly into Q3 and scored points. That's the kind of teamwork that puts a smile on a team principal's face.
Oh, and let's not forget Charles Leclerc. While Ferrari might not have had the pace, he was out there bagging valuable points. It must be like finding a tenner in an old pair of jeans, always a pleasant surprise.
Ha, that's a good one. And with all these ups and downs, the season's shaping up to be quite unpredictable. It's like every race weekend, we're flipping through a new chapter of an edge-of-your-seat thriller.
Couldn't agree more. Each race, each lap even, could be a game changer. That's what makes this sport so exhilarating. Let's see what the next chapter holds for us, shall we? Full throttle. This week in Formula 1, we saw quite a mix of performances, didn't we? Zhou Guanyu, for instance, had a bit of a turnaround with a switchback to a previous chassis. P13 might not sound spectacular, but it's a significant step up from his recent results, 3 places ahead of his teammate Valtteri Bottas.
Yes, it's fascinating how such changes can sometimes act like a reset button for drivers. Mechanical adjustments or not, Zhou showed he's still very much in the game. And speaking of being in the game, the Ferrari duo had a bit of a tussle, didn't they?
Absolutely, the Spanish Grand Prix was not the finest hour for Carlos Sainz. Both he and Charles Leclerc seemed to let their frustration get the better of them, racing each other hard for just 5th place early on. It ended with a somewhat tame position swap later in the race, with Sainz finishing 6 seconds behind Leclerc.
It goes to show, even top teams can have their off days. And talking about teams, the Red Bull and McLaren performance levels are now set to be very, very close, which made for some nail-biting moments this weekend.
Indeed, the technological tug-of-war is always a highlight. Red Bull had some trouble dialing in their massive upgrade this weekend. Daniel Ricciardo, for instance, found himself leading for Red Bull but only managed to squeeze out a modest 6.2 on a tough weekend for them.
It's their ups and downs that make Formula 1 so enthralling. Every race weekend brings its own set of challenges and surprises. With Hamilton declaring it his best weekend of the year after snagging a podium, and ongoing assessments for Mick Schumacher at Alpine, the narrative just keeps evolving.
That's the beauty of this sport, always changing, always challenging. Whether it's a struggle with the setup, a tactical duel on the track, or just plain old racing luck, there's never a dull moment.
Definitely keeps us on our toes, doesn't it? Just when you think you've got the season figured out, something comes along to shake it all up again. Can't wait to see what the next race has in store for us.
Absolutely, the anticipation is always part of the excitement. Let's keep our eyes peeled and see how these stories develop as the season progresses. William Turner, fancy taking a butcher's at some of the chatter online about the current goings-on in Formula 1?
Right, let's dive in. There's quite the discussion brewing over at the forums. Organic Measurement 2 posted, put in a young driver, Liam Lawson is about to be promoted to regular driver.
Ah, the ever-rotating driver carousel. What's the word from the pundits?
Well, Fire202 said, quote, Marco saying Marco things. The question is, does Horner know about this, unquote. And then, nobody would chime in questioning which shareholders are pulling the strings, the Red Bull side or the Thai side.
Interesting dynamics as always with Red Bull.
Indeed, and it spirals deeper. The ghostly guy asked which side is actually in charge, and Real Baking Bish provided some historical context, mentioning a power vacuum at Red Bull leading to internal conflicts. Silly Penguin stated, quote, at Red Bull this played out as a drawn-out fight between Marco, backed by the Austrian side, and Horner, backed by the Thai side, unquote.
A proper corporate saga, that.
Spot on. And Magic Monkey Nuts added that in the end, it's the legalities that define the outcomes. Zeno the Weird, a lawyer, mentioned that control and management issues might have been negotiated in the past in complex shareholders' agreements.
Sounds like a right tangle. Anything else from the forum?
Loads more. Noberry2976 speculated about the future, hinting at possible changes with new regulations in 2026 and potential shifts in team dynamics. And Greggy Wegs cracked a joke saying, they're going to get one car each in the divorce.
Blimey, the language here's a bit ripe. If I read that out, we might lose our sponsors. But all jokes aside, it seems the fans are as much into the politics as they are into the racing.
Absolutely, it's all part of the sport's charm. The strategy, the speed, and yes, even the boardroom battles. Makes for a thrilling mix, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Keeps us guessing both on and off the track. Let's see how this all plays out in the races to come. Thanks for tuning into F1 Motor Fever podcast today. We've had a cracking session discussing the latest developments in Formula 1, from team dynamics to driver updates. It's always a pleasure to share these moments with you, our valued listeners. Remember, your engagement helps us grow, so don't hesitate to subscribe, activate notifications, and share our content with your mates and fellow F1 enthusiasts. If you've enjoyed today's episode, why not drop us a comment? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And keep those ears perked for our next episode. You never know what we might uncover next in the fast-paced world of Formula One. We're on air every day, bringing you the latest and greatest, with a sprinklish of banter and a whole lot of engine roar. So, whether you're sipping your morning tea or winding down after a long day, make sure to tune in and join the fun.
We truly appreciate you joining us and contributing to the vibrant community we have here at Podsat_name. Every comment, every share, every like helps us bring more of the content you love.
And as we gear up for another episode soon, remember to keep your spirits high and your curiosity peaked. We've got plenty more to discuss, analyze, and speculate on, and we wouldn't want to do it without you.
Until next time, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold.